My sister Danielle Bell has been missing for almost 24 years. So why, after 24 years, do I think that this case can be easily solved? I'm going to tell you all the details in the quickest, most summarized manner that I can. So let's start off with before Danielle went missing. Danielle was 14 years old. She was living with her mother, a known drug addict and prostitute. The summer of 2001, Danielle met Alfredo Sanchez, who was 24 years old, through mutual friends. Alfredo Sanchez and Danielle Bell were involved in a relationship, and I do that in quotations because it is absolutely impossible for a 14-year-old to consent to sexual activity with a 24-year-old man. Alfredo Sanchez is currently serving 40 plus years in prison for 2 counts of lewd and lascivious behavior, one of those victims being Danielle and another young juvenile female. It was not uncommon for our mom to let Danielle go off for an entire weekend, and she would be with Alfredo Sanchez. Prior to Danielle's disappearance, she reported to our mother and several of her friends that she thought she was pregnant by Alfredo Sanchez and that he had told her if she told anyone, he would kill her. I also want to clarify that I myself, as Danielle's sister and Danielle's dad, did not know this information until after she went missing. So the night of September 28th, 2001, Danielle went to a party in Heritage Park off Wellline Road, which is very close to the Sanchez residence. It was a party in the park, and from there she got into a white Lincoln Town Car with Alex Sanchez, who is the younger brother of Alfredo Sanchez. They headed to 588 Cedar Tree Lane, which is the home of Robert Bassett, and Robert Bassett, Alfredo Sanchez were childhood BFFs. So Friday, September 28th, 2001, Danielle does not come home. Our mother does not call the police until Sunday, September 30th. This is after she calls Danielle's dad and is like, should I call the cops? And my grandmother, my mom's mom, also said she had to encourage her to call the police. So you'll see reports that Danielle went missing on September 30th, which is actually inaccurate. The last time she was seen was September 28th, 2001, into the early hours of September 29th, 2001 at Robert Bassett's house. So I didn't find out until Monday, October 1st, 2001, early in the morning, because I just happened to call. My mother answers the phone, hysterical. My grandma gets on the phone and she's like, you need to get here. Danielle's missing. She hasn't been seen since Friday night. So it wasn't until Monday, October 1st, that I found out about the possibility of her being pregnant, her involvement with Alfredo Sanchez. Now, about 2 weeks prior to that was the last time I saw my sister, and I met Alfredo Sanchez that night. I had taken Danielle to go get pictures made on the beach, which are the pictures that you're seeing on all the flyers. On the way back to her house, she asked me, can you stop at a payphone so I can call my friends to come get me? I say, no, I'm going to take you to where I got you. I'm taking you back home. This was a Sunday night. It was around 7 or 8 o'clock by the time we made it back to her house. I hear Danielle ask her mom, can Alfredo come over? Can we go ride around? She tells her yes. I'm 20 years old at the time. I sit down, I make a plate of food. I'm eating it. Next thing I know, Danielle comes inside with Alfredo Sanchez, Roel, his cousin, and his little brother, Alex. It's very apparent to me that Alfredo is way older than Danielle. So I asked my mom, what is she doing hanging around this dude right in front of Alfredo Sanchez? My mom tells me, now I want you to keep in mind, this is about 2 weeks before Danielle goes missing. My mom tells me that Alfredo Sanchez is a friend of Danielle. She babysits his son and that he's a good guy. On October 1st, I find out that our mother has known that Danielle was pregnant for a couple of weeks. The timelines are very close. Meaning I see Alfredo Sanchez. Let me give you the exact date. I've got a calendar pulled up here. about, I'm going to say September 16th is the night that I meet Alfredo Sanchez. And Danielle and I get into a fight because she's mad at me for questioning it. And from there, my mother states that, she knew that Alfredo and Danielle were involved at least a few weeks prior to Danielle's disappearance. Shit don't add up, yo. It is my belief that our mother, Susan Bell, willingly let her daughter be involved with Alfredo Sanchez in exchange for free drugs. That is technically called trafficking. Pimping your daughter out. In 2019, I find out that my mother is indeed a prostitute. Verifiable. I question her about this. She absolutely denies it, and I never talked to her again. Susan Bell died October 2020 high on meth. I have an autopsy report I am more than happy to drop to the public to show this information. So, as of 2025, this is the information that we have verified, that we know to be true. And once I had that verifiable information about my mother being involved in prostitution, it raised some questions, for sure. Because there were rumors that, prior to Danielle's disappearance, that our mom had been pimping her out. With that being said, I turned this information over to the cops. Escambia County Sheriff's Office. I asked them to bring her in for questioning. And, had they already questioned her in the past? Did they give her a lie detector test? Were they going to re-question Robert and Alfredo? They never followed up on that lead. That's just one of many leads they haven't followed up on. In April of 2024, I went back and met with the Sheriff's Department and asked them, what are we going to do? Why haven't these leads been followed up on? I'm ready to get national media attention on this. I don't care about your lack of resources. I don't care that you have a whole new team and you're not up to date on the Danielle Bell case. That's not my problem. So, we've had the News Nation segment, WEAR 3 segment. It's become very apparent to me that the Escambia County Sheriff's Office either doesn't care or they've messed up in the past. And I actually have proof of that as well. I can tell you that Susan Bell, our mother, was involved with an officer or detective working on Danielle's case back in 2004 named Wayne Orr. An internal affairs investigation was done and they later fired Wayne Orr. She's meddled. She's caused distractions. So I still believe that Alfredo Sanchez, Robert Bassett, Christopher Rivera Brown, and Alexander Sanchez know where Danielle's body is. I think a lot of people are coming forward with information, but there's a lot of people that aren't because they're scared. People have been threatened. Anytime I have put Robert Bassett's name or the address 588 Cedar Tree Lane out on the internet, I have received phone calls and voicemails from Robert Bassett threatening me and threatening my stepfather. But here's the thing. I don't care. I don't care because I know Matt Bell can handle himself and so can I. So with that being said, if you have been a victim of Robert Bassett or Alfredo Sanchez's, I want to hear from you. All names are kept confidential. I will go to my grave with names and stories because there have been multiple victims of these guys. Robert Bassett is currently in prison until the end of this year, November 2025. He gets out. He is a threat to society. He's currently in there for multiple counts of violence against women. He is a killer, he is a pedophile, and he is dangerous. So please, if you have any information on the whereabouts of Danielle Arian Bell, who went missing on September 28th, 2001, please contact me. My name is Bonnie, and I am her sister.